G'day guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'll be reviewing the Geelong and Sydney game at the SCG round 2. And the big news obviously is Bud kicking 1,000 goals, so incredible effort, and probably the last time a player will ever do that in history, one would have thought. Don't see the game evolving to a point where you have one-on-one and teams are too smart now. So, yeah, Buddy kicked 4, needed 4, and he got it. Yeah, so he'll go down in history as a legend, no doubt, one of the all-time greats. And, yeah, that's enough of Buddy Franklin airtime. I think he gets enough as it is. So, extraordinary achievement. But it wasn't an extraordinary night from the Cats' perspective, which I'll obviously be reviewing from that perspective. We started off like a house on fire. I thought, oh, here we go. Yeah, our form's going to continue on. I'm pretty exhausted, by the way. Been a really, really big week. And, yeah, been a bit under the weather as well, so that's not ideal. Yeah, I feel like I just haven't really had much of a chance to just chill out, but that's all right. I'll make some inroads on that, but we had a really great start to the game. We had a couple of really good pieces of play, able to hit the scoreboard early, and we're thinking, oh, here we go. Here's another really good start, and had the first 5 minutes up our sleeves pretty comfortably. We had the Swans, pretty well swamped, Sydney swamp. So, yeah, we did well in that department. We were able to kick in a couple early, and then we just had nothing after that. So, after the first 5 minutes, we were completely on top of the game, 2 goals up against the Swans, and then it all fell apart, and we did not have an answer for it, which was the most disappointing thing. And I guess, yeah, I got probably a bit too excited about the Essendon win last week, thinking that Essendon are a decent team and we're able to trounce them. But I did know coming into this game it was going to be Sydney are the best auditors in the competition. They show the real you, and definitely, yeah, shown up a bit more of an accurate representation of where the Cats kind of stand. Because we know Sydney are probably a top 4 side. Has to be so. I think they finished 6th last year, and yeah, I think Kingy's tipped them for the premiership, and they look like a premiership side tonight with the way they played. And yeah, they look super promising. But yeah, I mean, a lot of how they played is kind of like what Geelong gave them. Like Geelong gave them time and space. Geelong didn't really defend well. It didn't look like they wanted to be there as the game went on, which I was just so crushed to see. It looked like we gave up halfway through the third term. I was very, very disappointed in that. Previous Geelong sides I've seen before the 2021 prelim just haven't given up. Yeah, they just did not have an answer for it. And yeah, how many times could you have Sydney players 5-10 metres away from their opponents when Cats players are guarding grass? Well, guarding grass isn't going to do much. In the grand scheme of things, I don't know what zone or system was in place there, but all I know is it allowed Sydney to move the ball from one end to the other without any pressure and with absolute ease frequently throughout the game, and they were able to move it from the back half, yeah, pretty much seamlessly, which was frustrating to watch because I want the Cats to make it hard for Sydney to get out of D50. I want the Cats to put pressure on so it stays there. So what are we doing? Yeah, our pressure wasn't there after the first 5 minutes. We just jogged around. We didn't tackle with any real intensity. We were pretty soft throughout the game, I thought. It was, a very, scary game to watch. I mean, so stressful being a Cats fan. 1 week you think you're a chance for, going quite nicely throughout, the year and possibly making finals and going deep into finals with, a reinvigorated, rejigged game style, group that's invigorated, but yeah, tonight I just saw the Cats against a really good side just not be anywhere near it, and 30 points kind of flatters us. And Sydney kicked straight, but You know why they kick straight? I'll tell you why. I can tell you exactly why they kick straight. They kick straight because Geelong had applied basically next to no pressure. A lot of Sydney shots are dead in front because the Cats give away corridor and they don't force Sydney wide. So therefore Sydney get easier shots and they make them pay. Whereas a lot of Geelong shots out on wide angles, 45 out on a really acute angle, low percentage kicks and either long shots and I mean once the pressure's on us, like we tend to just not be able to. It's infectious. It goes through the entire team. Like especially when we're 5-6 goals up, players put them through without thinking. But the moment they really need to kick it, they miss it nearly every time. And yeah, it was just really frustrating that players just couldn't stand up to the moment when a goal was needed. No one delivered. So there was one player that could definitely hold their hat up high. But yeah, just allowing Sydney that free run, the ground ball was absolutely killing me. I just couldn't believe it. Sydney just got every single ground ball. And it's like, what are you doing, Geelong? Oh, so frustrating. It's like, get the damn ball. It was baffling. Just second the ball every time. Front and square to the Sydney player every time. Where do you think the ball's going to go? Blind Freddy can see where it's going. Use your damn noggins, Cats. Oh, so frustrating. Sick of seeing the same old garbage every time against any side that runs and carries or pressures us. We just can't handle it. We're so easy to play against. We're so easy to beat. Yeah. Just immensely frustrating. Sydney, they kick super straight. They never miss anything. They kick everything. Everything goes through. Buddy kicks 1,000. Everyone wins, except for Chris and the Cats and me on this occasion. The stats are kind of irrelevant, but there might be some stark stats in there, maybe clearances, but that's 2016 prelim revisited there, where we just had a bunch of inside 50s but actually didn't do anything with it. So supply was good, but we just kicked it to Paddy McCartan every damn time. Do you think we would have learned from any other game ever, or the qualifying final, pretty recent game where Aliir just all by himself was able to run free? Who's playing on these guys? And then we're making Paddy McCartan look like Matthew Scarlett, Alex Rance, Steve Silvani, name one of your greatest fullbacks ever. Made him look like an absolute hero and one of the greatest all-time defenders, and he's barely played the last 3 years. Like, that's pathetic, Geelong. Absolutely pathetic. We had a lot of supply, we just couldn't make them pay, and Sydney just kicked every goal. Every entry was only a goal. Every second entry, they made something happen. We won the clearance battle, but yeah, Sydney's clearances were much more damaging. I don't really believe that that's the case with contested possession account, because we were smashed early on. I suppose we got a little bit in the second half. I mean, that's when Sydney running, carrying, getting those kinds of marks. Like, they just marked everything. Very frustrating. So yeah, the stats, they tell we had more scoring shots than 5 more scoring shots, but really didn't do much there. We tackled more because we just couldn't get near the ball. So we're in at second every time. The votes are probably the hardest ever, I think, to give out, and I'm going to struggle significantly. I'm going to have to have a good think about it. I know my 3, and I think we all know my 3. But yeah, from there it gets really, really tough. Alright, I've got my 3 sorted out. So I'm giving 3 votes to Brad Close, which is an indictment on the football club. That your forward pocket, one of the hardest positions to play, gets the 3 votes. You'd think you'd have to kick 7 or 8 or something like that to get the 3, but he's kicked 4, his career high, 5 marks, 18 touches, 5 tackles, got a goal assist in there. He just cracked in hard. He's the only bloke that actually had a red hot crack. He was flying for marks. bringing them down. He's kicking goals. He's a real threat up forward, taking some really nice grabs, really good pressure. 2 holding the ball moments early on in the game. Against Sydney, obviously due to his tackle pressure, which was great. Had some really good efforts early, and he was just consistent throughout the night and played his best game of his career. So it's just a shame he had 21 other passengers. So yeah, what more can Brad Close do? He was enormous. 2 votes. Right. Pretty tough. I wouldn't say Guthrie. Definitely had a few tackles. I thought I had my 2 votes, but yeah, it's just dissipating from me as I go down the list. I'm going to go with Tom Atkins just because no one else was any good. His banana goal literally gets him the 2 votes, I reckon. And the fact that he kind of cracked in and he was running and carrying where he could. But again, definitely not his best game of all time. The fact that Tom Atkins is in the top 3 and Brad Close is just an indictment on the football club as a whole. I don't know how you can have one outstanding player and then 21 players that just played an absolute shocker. Like, it's just unbelievable. And to only go down by 30 points as a result blows my mind as well. And the 1 vote to Jed Hughes. Again, a guy that took the game on, ran and carried. I think he might have set up a goal too, or at least definitely had a score involvement throughout the game. And I felt like he took it on from the back line and did a good job. So, yeah, it's going to be tough giving reviews for everybody. But, yeah, Guthrie got a bit of the ball. But, yeah, clearly we struggled on getting the football. Seemed pretty tough going. Isaac Smith, again, got 23, but wasn't really that effective when he kicked it inside 50 or inside 60. Blitzars was okay. But, yeah, did a decent job, I guess, but not vote-worthy. Mitch Duncan, very quiet, very rusty. I don't know why I had to rush him back in, but, yeah, he kicked a goal, got 15. 6 marks. So, yeah, I mean, he was okay, but didn't need to rush him back in. But no one really had a good night except Brad Close. Stewart had a bit of an off night, took a few marks, but just looked really shaky. Tui kicked a goal, 16, not bad. Sella got a bit of the ball. I don't think he was that effective with it. That might say a bit. But, yeah, look, we know he always tries his heart out. Stanley got monstered, absolutely monstered by Hickey, and seemingly always does. Parfitt, it was all right early, but yeah, kicked a goal and just went out of the game. Zach Guthrie, again, just gets thrown around when things aren't going well for us. He just gets monstered. I mentioned Atkins. Jeremy Cameron, look, he just wasn't efficient on the night. Didn't look right. Got a bit of the ball, but not effective. Dalhouse was actually not too bad. He was trying to fly it for marks as no one else was. When Cole Jasny kicks a goal, Geelong lose. That's my theory. And when he kicked it early, I'm like, oh no, this could be a curtain raiser for a bad result because he kicked the first goal against GWS. So he loves kicking goals against New South Wales-based sides, and both times he kicked the first goal, we've lost afterwards. So. And you'd think your team's struggling when Cole Jasny's kicking goals, as in the opposition not being able to defend that. But yeah, it was a good kick by Cole, but he was okay. He wasn't our worst. Radaglia took a few good marks, but don't know really what else he offers. He's just there to take a few ruck contests. Paddy Dangerfield, very, very disappointing in how he went about it. He was so quiet. I just don't know how one of the great midfielders of the modern era just gets 2 possessions to half time, and he looked fine. But then, yeah, one of his worst games ever. It was quite staggering. Henry, I think he was mainly playing on Buddy. Buddy kicked 4. Supply was without much pressure, so not a lot Henry could really do. Don't know what Hawkins was doing. He was completely out of it. He's just on another planet sometimes, Tom. We know he can play some amazing footy, but when things aren't going well, he just goes into fairyland. But he kicked a goal, missed a couple. didn't really affect the game at all. Holmes very quiet, 10 touches. So yeah, I mean, it's just so frustrating when a couple of guys are down, just everyone goes, "Oh, I've got to go down with them." Like, step up, cats. Stengel, quiet one, but yeah, the small forwards outside of close didn't really do a lot. 6 touches, so yeah. Severe reality check, and I mean, I've had a really big week and just wanted to see the Cats play some competitive and good footy and see how we go. And not to be the case, unfortunately. We'll have a bit of a look at next week. We've got the Pies at the MCG Saturday night. Away game, so I won't have to travel all the way up to Melbourne. That's good. But yeah, definitely some horror games in the past. Last year's was a snooze fest. Pies started to play on in that final term and got some rewards. Made it a 10-point game out of absolutely nowhere when it was 28 points up with 5 minutes to go. Pies somehow kicked 3 goals in 5 minutes. Yeah, obviously a big win in the final, but see how the Pies go this week. But if they play anything like round 1, Collingwood, I reckon, yeah, they're definitely a sneaky chance. And I mean, I would think they're the favourite here, based purely off form. Their pace worries me and their pressure worries me, so I automatically think they're a really good shot to get us across the line. And they were terrible last year with the way they play, then playing much more exciting footy. They might surprise a few this year. They've been a bit of a bogey side for us in the past, even when we've been good and they've been not that great. They've always found a way to make life pretty difficult for us, and I feel like we always underestimate them, and they always step up against us. A lot of sides do, though. But yeah. So yeah, I'm dreadfully disappointed. I know it feels like one week I'm thinking we're going to win the flag, and then the next week it's all doom and gloom. You got to take the good with the bad, but I was just very, very disappointed in the lack of ability of response and just manning up players and actually making life difficult for Sydney. Yeah, I think I could have kicked 4 or 5 tonight with the delivery they got. So yeah, just lack of pressure, lack of will, power sort of there, and very, very disappointed. So we don't lose 2 in a row very often, but who knows what will happen. So it's going to be, yeah, hopefully they have a good long hard look at themselves. There's just a lot of players that if they keep dealing out the same players, they're going to get the exact same results as they have the last 10 years and fall short, whether they make finals, whether they don't. Even if they make finals, if they make top 4, they'll lose the first final, they'll win the second one against a team that's not that great, then they'll get bashed up in a prelim again. So we'll probably see that if we somehow surprisingly get a bunch of wins. But yeah, it's a pretty disappointing loss. I know it's early, but it's damning the way it happened, and a lot of similarities to what I saw in the past. There was a lot of Melbourne in that game. They probably didn't put on the board as much as, say, a Melbourne side did. But yeah, Sydney getting 100 points is nice. I mean, we had a lot of scoring shots, but we also had a lot of pressure on the ball. We had a lot of wide shots. A lot of Sydney's goals within 30 metres straight in front. Really easy, straightforward shots. So wasn't a lot of difficulty with their shots, and that's why they kick straight a lot of the times. That's why they've kicked, I think, 27 or 28-10. Yeah, they haven't missed much. I think they kicked 13-6 last year, or 13-5, or whatever it was. Maybe 14-5. But anyway, that's it from me, guys. Bitterly disappointing game. Hopefully the Cats can respond. It's just going to be a bit of a roller coaster kind of year where you play some amazing footy, and then there's going to be other games where you just think you're so far off it. So yeah, take the good with the bad. I'm buggered and didn't like what I saw. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. Don't forget to give the video a like, subscribe away, all that amazing stuff. Take care, and I'll see you guys all on the next video. Bye for now.